Why hello my beautiful friends. So this is another look for you guys. I honestly just wanted to film myself applying makeup since I got some new things at the drugstore. So this is going to be an affordable look for you guys. So to start this look off, I'm going to prime my skin with the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. And I believe that they reformulated this because this used to be more of a serum. But now this is like a primer slash silicone type of situation. So this hydrates, but it also fills in your lines as well. So I like it. Then priming my lips with the Balmtastic Skins Balm. And I really love this stuff. It smells so divine. It smells like a pina colada, but it's very hydrating for the lips. Look at these fabulous brushes, guys. These are so bright and beautiful. These are from Sonia Kashuk. It's one of her new collections. I'm pretty sure it's limited edition. But this is the Art of Makeup brushes, and they're so pretty. So I did pick up a new foundation. This is from e.l.f. It's the Flawless Finish Foundation in the shade Sand. And I'm going to use the pointed foundation brush from the Sonia Kashuk set. It's kind of tiny, but it still does the job. And I have to say, I'm in love with this foundation. It's beautiful. They call this a semi-matte finish. I do find that with the Hydrating Primer, it is a little bit more of a dewier finish, but I believe without the primer, it will set to like a semi-matte finish. And yes, it smells really good too. So overall, I love it. I love the coverage. I love the overall finish of it. It's good stuff. Using my beloved concealer from the drugstore. This is from Physicians Formula. It's the Youthful Wear Concealer in Light and Light. And I'm going to apply this to my under eyes as well as down my nose. I didn't conceal too heavily because I wanted my face to be as natural as possible. So to blend out my concealer, I used the domed brush from the Sonia Kashuk set. This is a little bit on the stiffer side, but I have to say I actually really enjoyed it to blend out my concealer. It actually did a pretty good job. So then to set the areas that I applied the concealer, I used the Wet n Wild Coverall Pressed Powder in the shade Medium. And this is very important, especially on the warmer days when things tend to melt away and dissipate throughout the day. Oh man, Get It Together Sarai is backwards. But this is the City Colors Sunkissed Trio in Bronzed Peach. And I'm gonna bronze my face with this bad boy. And yes, it is intense because it's very powdery, but I love the overall finish of it. So it's one of my favorite bronzers actually. So I'm using the Real Techniques blush brush because I feel like this brush is very forgiving when it comes to bronzer. So I'm just doing the 3 and E and then down my nose. So then I applied some cream contour with the Sonia Kashuk contour stick. And I apply this on the hollows of my cheeks and also down my chin area, or on my chin area. And those are just the areas I typically contour. I don't go crazy with contouring, although I probably went crazy today. So I'm going to take the same stiff dome brush from the Sonia Kashuk set. And I have to say, this really doesn't work all too well with cream contour. So I did have to go back with my Real Techniques contouring brush, or sculpting brush. I believe that's what it's called. Okay, so let's do the eyes. So I'm using the same concealer that I use underneath my eyes, and it's the Physicians Formula one, and just applying this on my lids and blending it out per usual. So to ensure my eyeshadow stays in place all day, I like to set my primer with a similar color. So this is Wet n Wild Brûlée, and I love this as a setting shadow. This is one of the new items that I picked up at the drugstore. It's one of the Prism eyeshadow palettes, and I picked up the shade Naked. It was the only one there at Target, and I wanted to try this out. So I am putting on the fourth shadow in this palette. It's the Golden Champagne color on the lids, and I will say I love it, but I hate it at the same time. There is a lot of fallout with these shadows, so especially when it comes to the lids, I would definitely apply the shadows with your fingers instead of a brush. I use a very stiff shadow brush. This is also from the Sonia Kashuk collection, but I feel like using your fingers would do a better job. But I apply this a little bit up into the crease as well, but I felt like I needed a transition shade, so I went in with Creme Brûlée from Geek. Using that shadow helped to really blend out the entire look and make it a little bit more cleaner. So then using the third shadow in this palette, it looks like it's the fourth shadow because I have the palette flipped over, but it's the third shadow in the palette, and I wanted to add some brightness to my lids, so I put this like peachy champagne color on the center of my lids just to give some luminosity, and I love the overall effect of it. So then taking the sixth shadow from this palette, this is like a taupey brownish shade. It's not too warm, but it's not too cool. It's like right in the middle. It's a really pretty color, and it's the darkest shade in this palette. So I use this in my crease and also into the outer corners as well, and just kind of like dusted it into my lids so it's not like too intense. So of course I had to add some pizzazz to my inner corners. This is the second shadow in this palette, and it's this beautiful light yellow champagne color. I absolutely love it. It definitely opens up the eyes and just adds a really nice brightness effect. So taking the fifth shade from this palette, this is a beautiful rose gold / bronze shade, and I'm applying this to my lower lash line. So I just took the smudgy brush from the Sonia Kashuk set and just applied it. It didn't really show up too well, so it's not one of my favorite colors, but it works. So here is Wet n Wild's Panther. It's a beautiful black single shadow. Since all of the colors are very similar to each other, I felt like they all melted into one, so I wanted to add a little bit more depth into the look, so that's why I went with a black shadow. And I used the Sonia Kashuk tapered crease brush and just applied this to my outer corners and also a little bit into my upper lash line. So to clean up my brow bone, I am taking Wet n Wild's Brûlée. I wanted a matte shade for the brow bone since everything is shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. I needed some matte to balance everything out. I then tightlined and waterlined and applied my mascaras. I used the 3-in-1 mascara from e.l.f. and the Wet n Wild's Max Volume Plus, and I love these two together. It's ba-bam. So this is a new blush for me. This is the Sonia Kashuk Sahara Sunset Blusher in Casablanca. And let me tell you, this is such a beautiful peachy blush. It is very intense, so you definitely need a light hand. But just look. Just look. It's gorgeous. So since I went a little heavy-handed with the blush, I just used the powder brush from the Sonia Kashuk set to blend it a little bit. So for my highlighter, I used the City Colors Sunkissed Trio again. Just used is the highlighting part, and this is a beautiful champagne-y highlight, and I think it goes really nice with the peachy blush. Guys, if you still don't own the EcoTools fan brush for your highlighting products, you need this in your life, just saying. So for my lips, I whipped out this bad boy. I love this lip liner, especially for the spring. This is the Prestige lip liner in Poppy, and this is such a gorgeous, like, red and orange, or reddy orange. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just perfection. It honestly is. And then I topped it off with this Essence Long Lasting Lip Color in Coral Calling, and these two go together so beautifully. Now I need to find a nail polish similar to that color, and I will be one happy girl. So that completes this look, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you guys are having a fabulous day or night whenever you are watching this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.